and welcome to a Good Boxing Podcast with your host, Josh Size. Today I have a very, very hot episode for you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very, very frustrated with this weekend's fights. First, I just want to touch on the Jessica Mccasskill versus Cecilia Breakhaus. Clearly, I had mentioned that Jessica Mccasskill was pretty much going to come and bring the same fight, but I first want to say that Jessica Mccasskill, congratulations. You are undisputed champion of the 145-pound division, I believe, or 142. It's some weird number like that. But congratulations, you came and you thoroughly dominated Cecilia Breakhaus. Now, after the congratulations, you went out, proved me wrong, proved a lot of people wrong about winning the fight. You weren't the prohibited favorite. You were the underdog, and you came by, conquered, and showed the world that the first time wasn't a fluke. Now, after saying that, I'm just going to move on to what I really wanted to talk about. Cecilia Breakhaus, one thing I want to tell you is I'm not sure what the hell you were thinking when you decided to continue to use Abel Sanchez as your trainer. For some odd reason, I don't know what to say, but this legitimately was Cecilia Breakhaus versus Jessica Mccasskill Part 2 from the first fight. It was the same exact fight. Jessica Mccasskill changed absolutely nothing. From the jump, you saw that she was coming in, trying to throw the body jab to land the overhand right. When she got close, she stayed low, and I don't know what Cecilia Breakhaus was trying to do, but she could not find her range whatsoever. You saw in the first couple of minutes or first couple of seconds of round one that, oh wow, I saw Cecilia Breakhaus take a step back, and I'm like, okay, she's going to try to box on the back foot. She was posting well. She was catching the shots on the way out, and I'm like, all right, finally, though, let's fight the way you fight. Right, you're this tall fighter that likes to use movement. You have a very basic style, very fundamental 1-2, move around. It's okay. Hold when you get on the inside, etc. At the end of the second fight, you saw that she was having success finding her range. And I thought if you really, really looked at it, looking at it from a trainer's perspective, I would want to fight the way that is most advantageous for the person I have in front of me. I'm not going to sit here and try to have a philosophy that I want to kind of instill and show like, oh, we got caught out there the first time and it just didn't work. We're going to go right back at it again. And exactly that was what was going on Saturday. Clearly, Abel Sanchez, I don't know if you didn't watch the first fight, but whatever you guys try to institute wasn't working the first fight. And honestly, from the jump, you saw them trying to do the same exact things. You saw Cecilia Breakhaus trying to use a jab and a right hand and then lunge in. When Jessica Mccasskill bent to the side, she was basically punching air behind her, right? Jessica Mccasskill got out the way, and sure, all right, you bent once, you bent twice, but you are undisputed champion. You have to realize that your trainer should realize, and you should also realize that Jessica Mccasskill kept bending the same way. It wasn't dynamic head movement where she was moving left, moving right, stepping around. She literally was throwing a body jab, bending to the right side, and staying there. You were missing. You never got balance. And then when she tried punching, you couldn't hold and successfully break. Abel, this is for you, and this is a rant for Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez is a renowned trainer. He's trained the likes of Triple G and many other people, Joe Joyce, the list goes on and on. He really, really got famous for training the Norris brothers. But I don't know what you were thinking in this fight. Truthfully, as a trainer, I'm very, very frustrated because at first I was sitting here kind of knocking Rick Ramos for trying to put himself and inject himself into this whole fight and trying to be like the person that's trying to take the limelight. Clearly, you made this way more about your ego and yourself than Cecilia Breakhaus' legacy. You took this woman's legacy and essentially made it about yourself. Okay, wow, you took in Cecilia Breakhaus into your Big Bear camp and you were supposed to make her this fighter that no one had seen before, and you were ready to show the world that what Big Bear and the summit's all about. Oh, you guys get the best training. You're never going to get tired. You're never going to be this. You're never going to be that. You're training at high level altitude. She's the only woman that could ever withstand high altitude and can train and showed work ethic that you've never seen before. It's the reason why she was in the camp. Well, I don't know if you watched the first fight. She got tired in the first fight. And I don't know if you saw this fight. Hopefully you watch it when you're done and you care enough to kind of see where you made errors in your strategizing, because she got tired in this fight too. And yes, that is because of Jessica Mccasskill. I'm not sitting here and saying that Jessica Mccasskill didn't do what she had to do, but you did not make it any harder for her. No one's saying that if you use what you know you're the best at in the fight in terms of skill set, moving around, using that jab, using the right hand, making Mccasskill chase you, making it difficult for her to get inside, Jessica Mccasskill probably wouldn't have been as explosive on the inside towards the later rounds, right? Move around, use the jab, make it hard, make her miss, and then you could open up those counter opportunities and turn her. Instead of trying to make this where you step back 1-2 and then you're trying to make her Triple G. You were telling her every round the same instructions. Throw more punches. You need to throw more punches. You need to throw more punches. Dude, if that's not working, adjust. And as a trainer, I'm very, very annoyed that you're not adjusting. You're literally a world-class trainer and you're telling someone to throw punches. Clearly, whatever messaging and whatever you're trying to say to her isn't working, and that's what makes a great trainer. It's not what you do at Big Bear. It's not the fucking hills that you're running and, oh, you know, the altitude this, the altitude that. Oh, I'm going to teach her how to punch, and we're going to show the summit way where you're going to win on the inside like she's Triple G. This woman is not Triple G. She is an intelligent boxer who can move, right? She had a good jab and a good right hand. Come on, Abel Sanchez. Like, why are you trying to make her trade on the inside? She looks uncomfortable. The first fight, she looked uncomfortable. If you watch the first fight, look at it. Every time she's on the inside, she can only do two things. Either miss, where Jessica Mccaskill's bent to the side. She's punching behind her. She's not really getting space for her punches. She's tall. Why is she trying to be on the inside? She clearly didn't know how to throw short uppercuts, hooks, and all these things. I'm not saying that she couldn't do it, but Jessica Mccaskill was better at it on the inside and defending it. She is an inside fighter. She's used to being the smaller person in the ring. And in this fight, she was the one that was smaller in stature, and she knew what she had to do. She had the game plan. She prepared for an inside dog fight in the trenches. And that's what she got. You gave her what she wanted. And the worst thing you want to do is make someone fight a fight that they're better at than you. I'm not sitting here and saying that Cecilia Breakhaus cannot fight in the inside. Maybe in sparring it looked like she could, but whoever she was sparring, whoever she was practicing against, or whoever she was trying to implement this on wasn't similar to Jessica Mccasskill. And that's what's frustrating. Because Abel, I get it. I get that you're hurt that Triple G left you. I get that Joe Joyce left you. I get all these people are leaving you. But at a certain degree, and to a certain degree, you have to realize why. Maybe you're too stuck in your ways. Maybe you're too stuck on what Eddie Futch told you, and God rest his soul, he was a great trainer, and you know he did teach really good things to Freddie Roach. Abel Sanchez, if I'm not mistaken, is part of that school as well. But you have to make adjustments. You have to challenge your own paradigms. You have to stop thinking that, hey, look, everyone is like you or Triple G or Joe Joyce, right? Cecilia Breakhaus was a racehorse that could move, dance around, box well, and you made her into a marathon runner. You made her into a shot putter where you're not utilizing her strengths. If she's a sprinter, she can move, she can use her feet. Why are you making her stand her ground and fight in a trench warfare? And legitimately, I get it if you did it one time. Part 1, Jessica Mccasskill, Cecilia Breakhaus. All right, you got caught out there. You thought Jessica Mccasskill wasn't going to be able to do what she could do to Cecilia Breakhaus in part 2, but she did it in part 1. They fought one time before. You know what they were coming with, and they literally came with the same thing. And just like in a movie, we've all done it. You know, you're watching a movie, you've seen it several times, and you wish that the main character made a different decision. You wish Tony Montana in Scarface decided not to go to war with the guy in Colombia. You wished that he decided to, I don't want to sit here and spoiler alert, he didn't not kill that guy going to the UN to get him out of that problem. You hope that people make the right decision, right? But sometimes, and I guess in this case with Abel Sanchez, you don't. You sit here and you just keep making the same decision over and over. You keep thinking that your way is the best way. And truthfully, as a trainer, I'm kind of annoyed at him because her legacy now is ruined, in my opinion. It no longer has the same pristine. You can't sit here and say that you got old overnight, because clearly you didn't try what you were good at. You were the first lady of boxing. Your record was pristine. You were trying to set off into the ride off into the sunset, and now you lost to someone who was 8-2, and then 9-2, and you didn't even fight the way you were supposed to fight. You didn't fight the way you should have fought. You should have went back to what you were good at, what got you to the 27th defense potentially of your title, right? Why are you going to listen to this guy who decided to inject himself into your career when you were already undisputed champion, right? He lost Triple G, he lost all these things. Sure, Abel is very, very excited to be a part of it, but at this point, Abel Sanchez needs to take a look in the mirror and let fighters be the best of themselves. Stop trying to make everyone, oh, I want to make you the way I want to make you. No, clearly your way is not the right way for everyone. And that's one thing you're going to learn as a trainer. Your way isn't the right thing for everyone. Sometimes you got to adjust your style. You have to look at your canvas and your subject and basically make it into something that's going to be the best of itself. And Abel Sanchez, you dropped the ball, man. I'm not going to sit here and say that the fight was close. Even with her trying to fight on the inside, you just created a situation where she can never do what she did best. And as a champion, as a former champion, and as a world-level, high-level coach, you're going to look back at this fight and be like, damn, maybe I should have boxed more on the outside. Why'd you send her out to do the same thing? She didn't develop anything new. You're telling her to throw more punches. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. More punches, more punches. That's not instructions. That's just telling her to do something that she can't do. Tell her how to do it. Tell her how to set it up. I want to hear instructions where you know there's a game plan. Like, you're just literally trying to break someone down in 20 minutes. Jessica Mccasskill's a world champion. She has the belief. She went through all the training. You saw her working hard. You saw her putting in that conditioning. Over 10 rounds of 2 minutes. She's not going to get tired. Your fighter got tired. You were doing all that bullshit up in Big Bear, right? You were doing this, running the sleds, wearing the weighted vest, boxing at, high level, the summit. Your fighter got tired. Why? Because she's doing something that is uncomfortable for her. She's doing something that mentally is arduous for her. Everyone knows that physicality and your mentality in the ring is what matters. And if you're physically there, if your mind gets tired, you're uncomfortable, you're feeling nervous, and you're feeling anxious, you can't relax, you're going to get twice as tired and you're not going to be able to perform. So she couldn't do what she had to do. I 100% blame Abel Sanchez for these last two fights. I think Cecilia Breakhaus, I know hindsight is 2020, quite frankly, made a horrible mistake hiring this guy. And I feel really bad because Abel has a great pedigree. He has a great career. He has Triple G. He has a bunch of other fighters that were pretty good. But right now, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just a bad streak for him and it happens. But I'm really ashamed to say that tactically, you just fought a bonehead fight. And from my perspective, I was so confident in Cecilia Breakhaus. And I'm personally, or whatever, I was wrong. Fine, cool. It's no big deal. But I'm looking at the fight from like, all right, man, any trainer could see, hey, I'm not going to try to bang with this girl on the inside. She killed me last time. She just outworked me. Her style is very difficult for me. I'm not sitting here saying it's not impossible to figure out. But, yeah, you just dropped the ball, dude. And I think at this point, Cecilia Breakhaus should just kind of leave you or retire and just stop. Because if you're going to make this girl try to be a inside fighter, she's just not going to excel at it because that's not what she is. She's not an inside fighter. Sure, you could develop it over fights, maybe practice it against lesser competition if she wants to go down that route. But in this case, the damage is done and it's sad. And I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm hearing that Katie Taylor and Katie Taylor and Jessica Mccasskill maybe will have a rematch. I think that's a good fight for both of them. Two-time undisputed champion, kind of be like Clarissa Shields. In that sense, I think Katie Taylor is going to go for it, in my opinion. I hope Katie Taylor moves up. I know Jessica Mccasskill has been in that division with Katie Taylor, but you clearly saw that Jessica Mccasskill filled out a little more, so she's not as small as she was back then. So, I don't know. I think they can figure it out, and the weights are kind of difficult, but I think Katie Taylor and Jessica Mccasskill would be a good fight. Katie Taylor is, in my opinion, Jessica McCaskill's worst nightmare. If she tries to go forward and tries to close the gap, Katie Taylor, one thing you got to say is that she can box her ass off. And I always draw a blank on who Katie Taylor recently fought. But the girl that she fought last time came after her, threw the whole kitchen sink at her. She was very, very strong, very, very tough, and didn't stop. But, oh, her name was Pursoon. That was her name. Pursoon came after her, and she stayed disciplined, boxed on the back foot, and sure tried to bang enough, but she utilized what she's good at. If she fights Jessica Mccasskill, should be a good fight, and I think it should happen. But Abel Sanchez, you should be ashamed of yourself, and I'm just going to drop the mic from here. Follow the Boxing Podcast on Instagram at Good Boxing Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, you want to kind of see my facial reactions in the videos, follow me, Good Boxing Podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much. Spotify, Apple, follow. Thanks. Have a good day.